Shalom, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Kalaya coming at you with another lesson. Prior to getting started, I'd like to give all glory, honors, and prayers unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to who feel like Shalom. Alright, and this lesson going to be predicated, alright, on not being weary. Okay? Not being weary. Alright? And this truth, alright, it's bittersweet, man. It's bittersweet. It's that honey, and it's also that bitter. Okay? Yes, we understand the deep mysteries, the dark parables, alright, of the scriptures. Yes, we understand the blueprint. We know the end, right? We understand the reward. But ultimately, you know, Jay got to understand this too. What it takes to get there, right? What it takes to get there. And sometimes all of you know, that knowledge, you know, it's heavy, man. The burden is heavy, okay? And sometimes it'll weigh down on you, but right now, it's a beautiful time to be a prophet, man. In my previous lesson, you know, I went into how we understand and know, you know, the things that are coming down the pipeline. Not only do we know them, not only do we expect them, but we understand them. And with understanding comes comfort. With understanding comes ease of mind. Alright? Don't let, you know, your mortal feelings overcome what your mind has already deemed, you know, sane. Alright? Not just what your mind deems sane, but what the Lord deems sane, man. And what the Lord deems sane is, alright, this truth, this ministry. Okay? All of those other people who have no idea what's going on, they are spiritually insane. Okay? These people out here are spiritually insane. They have no sanity whatsoever. Alright? But we do. Through these scriptures, through the Comforter, through Yahushua, man. So I'm gonna get a couple precepts, because even though we are sane, sometimes we have mortal moments. But it's what you do in those mortal moments that define you, man. Okay? What, you just gonna bug out? Nah, man. We got the remedy to that. Alright, feeling down. Alright, feeling uneasy. Feeling low in spirit. We got the remedy. So without any further ado, I'm gonna grab a couple precepts and I'm gonna get out of here, man. This 2nd Esdras 12, because Esdras had a mortal moment, right? It says, 2nd Esdras 12 and 5, Lo, yet I am weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit, and little strength is there in me, for the great fear wherewith I was afflicted this night. Therefore, now I beseech the Lord, I beseech the highest, that he will comfort me unto the end. You see? So when Esdras was given the understanding, hey, he you know, it said he was you know, weary. There was no strength in him. Hey, because man, when you think about what's coming out of the pipeline, that's spooky. That's some spooky shit, man. Right? It's spooky. But having that understanding to basically, you know, gird your loins for you, man, that's that edge we have over the rest of the world, you know? And only we have that, okay? Only we have Yahushua, the Comforter, alright? So, real quick, I'm gonna grab this. And Salaki, if it's a little loud. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. And it reads, it says, for the Most High had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Right? Having that sound mind is important. Okay? That's that sanity, man. While everybody else have racket going on in their mind, they don't know what they're doing, okay, in life. There's no aim, there's no goal. We have that. We have a goal, we have an aim, we have a trajectory, okay? We have a destination in which we're trying to reach. It's kind of like, you know, while I'm driving right now, some of these people are just driving, man. But think of it on a spiritual level. I know where I'm going. I know my exit. I know where I'm getting off. All right? And that's what the truth does to you. You know? But I'm going to read it again. It says, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind, man. Lord gave us power, man, instead of the spirit of fear. Okay? And I gotta get my favorite one. No, I gotta get that. Hold on. Real quick. Brothers know which one I'm talking about. And Wisdom of Solomon, the 18th chapter. Let me just search it up. 17th chapter in the 12th verse. Alright, it says, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12, for fear is nothing else but the betraying of the succors which reason offereth. Alright? Hey, reason, what is our reason for doing this, man? Okay? To reach the end, to reach the kingdom of heaven. You see? We know what it takes. But it says, for fear is nothing else but the betraying. All right, you betraying. Okay? It says of the succors. The succors is help, man. Succors, when you break it down, it goes into help. And who is our help? Who is the comforter? Yahushua. So when you get weary, all right, it's not a total betrayal, but it's the beginning of betrayal. You see? That's the beginning of it, man. And if you don't correct it, alright, then it's going to manifest into the betrayal, man. You ultimately betray Yahushua because he's that succor. He's the comforter, the help, man. Alright, and that don't mean you just going to muscle your way through each and every mortal moment, alright, or each and every time you get weary. The Lord gives us seasons, man. Sometimes you're going to have to be weary for the Lord to expose to you that you have spots in which you got to improve on, man. So it's not always a bad thing to be weary, but you don't want to just be, you know, just weary all the goddamn time, man. You know, you don't want to just be, you don't want to be stuck in a weary state of mind. Man, rejoice, man. The prophecies are coming to pass. All right. Verse 13. And the expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. That's right, man. Ignorance bring torment, which in is truth. And that's ultimately the case for 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Because of their ignorance, right? Hey, they're going to be tormented, man. By what? By their fears. The Lord said He's going to bring people's worst fears upon them, man. And really and truly, we have nothing to fear. The only thing we have to fear is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right? And ultimately, you know, stand on our P's and Q's that we may be, you know, counted as the elect, that our lot be of the elect, man. You know, you need that healthy dose of fear. And I'm not talking about being afraid, you know, scared. Nah, man. All right, being afraid of what's going to happen to you if you don't obey the Lord, man. That's that healthy dose of fear. That dose of fear is what basically coax you damn, I'm trying to think of the proper word for it, but guides you, right, to making the right decisions. That's what that dose of fear does. When you weigh things in the balance within your mind, all right? When you judge things according to the scriptures, that's what that healthy dose of fear does. You know? But you know, man, nevertheless, when you boil everything down, man, we really don't have anything to fear. Alright? I'm talking about things of this world. Though it is spooky, we have nothing to fear, man, because we are still mortals, right? We still mortals. We have feelings, but we understand the things in which, you know, the world don't understand. The world don't understand what happened when you die. You know? Scriptures tell you, man, somebody that's not built up in the faith, when the scriptures speak about the beheadings for, you know, the testimony of Yahushua, man, that'll run a jig out the truth, man, without the proper understanding, without being built up and truly knowing, the secrets of the scriptures. Because believe it or not, that's a secret of the scriptures, knowing what happens after death. You see? Man, Jake in the world, they scared to die, man. But we know what happens. So, and you know, in all honesty, what is there to fear? But you know, that was the lesson, man. Getting weary. Man, ask the Lord to renew your strength daily. You know, pray, fast. These things, you know, boost the morale, man. These things boost your spiritual morale and pulls you out of those valleys, right? Because we do go in the valleys. We do go in the low points. But then, hey, the Lord also gives us, you know, peaks as well. You know, you can't always expect to be on fire. You can't always expect to be in good spirits. But being able to identify it, right, is a game changer. You got to be able to identify when you know, low in spirit. And not only identify, but know what to do when you're in it. You know? But that was the lesson, man. You know, Lord willing, this was exalting and uplifting, you know, to the elect, man, to whomever these, you know, these words may lay upon, you know, Lord willing, it comfort and help. So without any further ado, I'd like to give all glory, honors, and prayers unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutation